There was a point, after nearly 30 years in the industry, I was ready to walk away from construction altogether because I was absolutely fed up of just constantly not making any money. And I genuinely thought, what's the point in all this? You know, I'm doing all of this for other people's benefit. I'm not getting anything. The lads that worked for me, they made their money. The customers, they had their property done up, extension built, whatever. And I kind of made a basic living. You know, I was almost on minimum wage if you count the amount of hours that I was doing. Welcome back to the Builder's Diary. It is now Monday, bank holiday Monday. Should be in bed, to be honest now. But we're not. Basically, I'm in the van on my way over to Baskerville Road just to try and give that a shove after last week. So yeah, get over there, got a few of the lads in, get it all tidied up, try and get it somewhere like ready for the plaster to come in and start skimming. Need to address some of those missing pipes, soil pipes. Just check all the hot and colds everywhere we need it. Just check nothing's missing basically before we actually start plastering things in. Let's get over there. So I've only got 3 of them in. There's Tommy, Tyler and Bryn. Bip and Ben haven't showed up. Text messages this morning say that they're not going to bother. So, cheers. But yeah, I've left them 2. They're just cracking on for a minute. I've just nipped back. Probably going to grab the keys for the new unit that we've got and take some of the stuff from there over to there rather than bringing it back here and then having to take it over there at some point over the next few weeks. Can't get hold of any materials because it's bloody bank holiday. But yeah, we'll get done what we can, see where we are.
Half on the drive. We're going to have an issue here with the barriers, but we'll sort it. Tyler's made something, so I'm probably going to die. Made a little and we're across from the laser level, marks all the way around. Exactly where the concrete's got to be. Taking the waste pipe out for now. Just need to get the last bit of cage in there. Bob's your uncle.
Morning guys, now Tuesday. Sorry didn't basically clock back on yesterday. Clock back on. Basically come back on the video. I ended up taking another one of my sons back home to university. So obviously, I don't know if you know, but I've got triplet boys, so getting them back to university and picking them up and stuff like that. They generally come back home on a train, but they wanted to record some stuff with the band, so they had to bring kit home with them. But yeah, I had to drop everything and drive up to Huddersfield yesterday. But back in here this morning, I've just put a price together for another extension that's just been sent over. But I've just had a message off Ben saying that someone's tried to nick the little dumper, you know, the little power barrier that we've got that we walk behind. Someone's tried to nick that last night. So I'm getting absolutely fed up of it now. This, you know, something needs to change. In this industry, we get our tools and plant nicked left, right and centre. All that happens is insurance goes up and they don't give a shit anyway. I've still not been paid out for the tipper that we got nicked a couple of weeks ago. And the police do nothing. You know, they're just not interested. Now, it's wrong. They are criminals breaking the law. Why are the police not doing what they're being paid to do? You know what I mean? The reason I pay my tax, council tax, whatever it is, whatever that pays for the police force, why am I paying it? Because I'm not getting anything from them. You know, it's scandalous. Why are these people choosing the easy route of nicking other people's kit to make a living, getting away with it? Yeah, I'm taking the lawful route. I'm trying to, you know, make a living, and I get taxed to high heaven. I get penalised. I get, you know, stipulated against with regulations. Yeah, these bastards can just absolutely get away with whatever they want. So, luckily they didn't get away with it, because it was basically wedged underneath the bucket arm. They've tried to pull it from underneath, but the handles have got wedged underneath the main arm of the digger. The digger's got an immobiliser on, and then obviously a coded key and all that lot, so they haven't been able to move that, but they've still had to go at nicking a little tractor wheelbarrow, dumper truck type thing. So, and it's just, it frustrates me, because if I catch who's doing it, I swear, and this is going on YouTube, and anyone could take me on this, I will not be held responsible for what I do to them if I catch who's doing it. We're going to get some cameras up, we're going to put some air tags and things, you know what I mean? The actual tracker that we had on the pickup, you know, they jammed it, just stopped it working. They're very clever people, but it's not on. Something needs to change. It's massive in this industry that millions and millions of pounds of plant and tools just go missing and no one gives a shit. But yeah, less of the whinging now. I've got to go up there now. I'm going to pick it up and bring it back here, just to be safe rather than trying to chain it up. And then I've got other things that I need to do this afternoon. Need to get over to the job just to check over it on the plaster and the plumber, and then go from there. Sorry about the whinging, YouTube, but it's wrong. Something needs to change. So just met the plumber over on Baskerville Road. He's going to come back and finish the tails off for the flow and return for the boiler and what have you. But he's basically saying that he hadn't priced to put the gas main in. He priced me for the first fix, which was hot and cold, gas, everything first fix wise. Are you with me? So I've got to go back now. I've got to go and look over his quote. I've got to go and look over the materials that were bought, because we bought some copper for him through his account, which was paid directly through his account, so we could get the VAT back. And he's saying that no copper was included. Now I know there was, because I paid for some, so, and it was in there and now it's gone. So not only are they now telling me porkies, he's now saying he wants some extra money to run that gas main in, which he's not getting basically. So I think it's getting to the point now where we're going to have to start issue court proceedings, because I've asked him to come back and finish it. He's had chance to, you know, to come and sort it. Yes, you know, we've had this job on hold, so he's saying it's just been stood still for ages. But I did ask him to come back nearly a month ago, and he's still not been. And he's been just had a quick look at the same thing that he looked at last time that he come. And I was expecting him to do the job while he was here, but he didn't. He's had a look at it and he's gone, and he says he'll be back to do it. He's had the code for the key box. I'm not happy at all. I'm absolutely pissed off with it, to the point where I'm getting to the point now, he's had enough chances to get it sorted. If he's not back in there and it's sorted by end of this week, I'm going to get someone to do it. I'm going to basically take him to court, because I am absolutely getting fed up of it. So plasterer has been, he's made a start in there, he's just been beading up and skimming the joints and stuff like that, ready to start skimming tomorrow. We are back here tomorrow as well. Lads have got the concrete poured now over on Blurton Road, so they can start building that tomorrow. Some trench block coming. So everything's moving forward, but just a few little teething issues that we're going to have to try and address. So let's get back to the office now. See if we can follow up on that quote that we sent out this morning, and then yeah, hopefully they'll be done by then, because I've had enough today. See you in a bit. now time to take son number 3 back to university. It's a bit of a task when I don't know if you lot know, but obviously I've got triplet boys, so obviously there's 3 of them. They all wanted to bring stuff home to record in the band because we're all in a band together, as I showed you in last week's video. So 2 of them have gone back, and the last one wants to go today. So I've said I'd give him a lift because obviously he's got all these drum kits and stuff. So I'm off there to do that. I've just been doing some bank reconciliation. Managed to do a quote this morning. Can't go in touch with that customer to tell them that basically the budget's nowhere near enough for that lead that's come in. But I'll try again a bit later. Got an issue on the loft conversion that we finished. All done and dusted. About to get it signed off by building control yesterday. But she rung me and said, can anyone come and cut the doors down? I said, what do you mean cut the doors down? Carpet fitters to call the fire doors off and won't touch them. Said there's not insured to cut them down. Now that's absolute bullshit. Just doesn't want to do them basically. So the carpet fitter we use, he just doesn't even take the door off. He's got a special door saw that he just runs across. Takes exactly 19mm off for the carpet and underlay. Perfect. So I've just said, yeah, we can do, but I'm going to have to postpone the building regs for the sign off because they won't sign it off without the doors on because fire doors. And then we're going to have to charge you to come back and do them. Obviously, we've allowed, I think we allowed 19mm from the floor, so they must have had some extra thick carpet or something. I've got this sneaking feeling though that we'll just go back and end up just putting them back on. I don't think they need cutting down. I think they're just lazy. They didn't want to drag the carpet underneath the doors. So, but that's got to be sorted now. So that's another job that needs to be sorted. And she does want some windows pricing for downstairs. So it's all work, but yeah, I like a clean break from a job. I like to finish it, get on to the next kind of thing, not being dragged back doing all little bits, because those little tiny bits, although we'll price for them, they never seem to make the same money as you would when you're doing a full build. But it is what it is. Right, let's get our stuff into the van now, and we're going to take him back up to Lancaster, which I think I'm going to have to go in the camper because the electric van's got no charge on. It's the first time it's caught me out. Obviously, it's got about 150 miles on it, so it's like, it'd probably just about get me there and back, but I don't want to chance that. So I've just put it on charge, but obviously charging at home takes a while. So, and I'm not charging at these stations because they're just so expensive. Right, let's go and get sorted.
It's been a bit of an awkward one today. Try and get through there, Sonic Ty. Haven't done many videos. Like I say, you can't really video much here, but yeah.
Can't see anything.
Can't see anything, can you? But yeah, coming along now.
Guys, Thursday morning, just on the way to Screwfix to pick up a bath panel for Ford Green Road. We've got the estate agents coming to get that listed, to get it sold. Then we heading over to fit it, and obviously nipping over then to Baskerville Road up with Ben and Bryn just to give them a shove, just to make sure that that plumber turns up. Ben's gone to pick up all the gear and that for him. But yeah, had a bit of a look through all the invoices and everything that I was sent for him for when he did the first fix, and seems like he's already charged me for materials. So probably my own fault for not keeping a better eye on it, to be honest. But you think you've got these so-called professionals, people that know the trade, involved, you know what I mean, they've always done a good job before, and then yeah, it's all to do with the fact that he's just obviously packed in and gone to work for someone cards in, so he's kind of halfway through my job and just thought that he was just going to leave it and not finish it off. So obviously when he's sent me the quote and then he's been paid and he's off, he's pretty much not finished it, he's in a contract whether he knows it or not. So I just said to him, like, if you don't do it, you can have it. Send me the money back, or I'm gonna have to go to court, small claims court. I don't want to do that because I like, you know, you're a good bloke. It's just circumstances, but that's how it ended up. And he's obviously, he came yesterday and did some bits, and then he's coming this afternoon as well to try and just finish off. Does anyone else do this? When you get up in the morning and you get into the car and the van or whatever and head off to wherever you're going, work, whatever, and you go in autopilot and you drive to the wrong place. I'm on my way to the wrong side. I just looked up and think, where are you going? So I've had to divert. But yeah, let me know in the comments, because honestly I do it quite a lot. I think it's because I'm quite preoccupied at the times. I've actually, before, years and years ago, when I moved house, I actually drove to the wrong house and pulled up on the drive after I hadn't lived there for nearly a year. Yeah, that's how preoccupied I can get sometimes. Right, let's get over there because I think Ben's waiting. So, just put the bath panel on. Lads around the back now, just trying to give it the best clean that we can do, bearing in mind that we've still got no pickup. But we have had some news on that. They offered us 17 grand, and I just went back and said, look, it's worth more than that, easily. So sent him a load of examples on eBay, stuff slightly lower mileage, maybe like 5,000 less, which was going for like 20 up to 25, some of them. So they've come back with 18. Now I don't think I'm going to get much more than that out of them, so I've agreed with that and just want to get the money now and get a pickup, get it replaced, because it's affecting us massively. But yeah, bath panel done. We cleaned all the garden off. The grass needs cutting, I'm going to have to come and do that. Give it a builder's clean on the inside, but it wants cleaning properly. Should have done that really before the estate agents come, but it is what it is. Lads around the back now, let's go have a quick look. So yeah, basically they've left all of this rubbish, loads. It's coincidental that the guy that lived here was a gardener, and there's loads of gardening waste here up the back of the house and all around the back of the garage is absolutely chocker full of shit. And these poo lads are having clean it up now. Yeah, Ben, tell them what you've just found in this rubbish.
Dirty Johnny.
And what else?
Nappies.
Ridiculous, isn't it? They expect people to clean that shit up after them.
Horrible.
Disgusting. Right. Let's go have a look inside now. It's all back to its former glory, kind of. Floor's still knackered, but don't really want to place the whole of the flooring just to put it up for sale. But yeah, hallway done. That patch is now sorted there. You can hardly, well, you can't tell it was there. But the issues with the flooring and stuff like this, where it's been leaking, it's chipped there. Here. And obviously the plinth's missing as well, because that's just blown up. But we'll replace that. So we're just going to have to try and get them to take the photographs strategically today. Like I say, it is neat and tidy, but let's have a look at the living room. So living room's probably one of the best rooms. It was filthy, you know what I mean, there was dirt all the way around the outside, but it's not been affected as much. It's cleaned up really well, been repainted. Quite a big living room, to be fair. Hallway looks a lot better. My little cloakroom that I built, spent ages on building, all looks better. Kitchen, all nice and clean now. Wouldn't actually recognise that cooker, would you? But got an issue now that the fridge, they've broke all of the shelves off. I found them all just in the bin. So all those are broke, unfortunately. Stair carpet, you can't tell from here, but that wants a clean. But we'll get contract cleaners in next week, hopefully. Bedroom's all nice and airy now. That one too. All sorted. And then the most important thing, bathroom's back to its former glory. So we've completely resealed the bath. Have a quick look, we'll zoom in on that. So all the bath's been resealed, cleaned. We've got all the shit stains off the toilet. Poor lads who work for me. Yeah, sink we've cleaned up. It's all come up pretty nice, to be fair. So yeah, I do feel sorry for the lads sometimes, because some of the things we have to do when these tenancies end, and they're builders, you know what I mean? They're not contract cleaners. But yeah, they always get their hands, you know, roll the sleeves up and get it done. So hopefully now we're somewhat like ready for the estate agent to come to get this listed and hopefully get it sold. Just turning that radio down because we don't want to strike. So just nipped over to Baskerville Road. Ben's upstairs now. Him and Bryn, they're literally boarding that wall up there. Looking a lot better in here. Still got some shit in this room, but it's all stuff that is ours. Are you with me? It's tools and stuff like that. All the crap we've kind of managed to get outside, get it bagged up, and it's all on the front here. I know it's, you know, it's kind of just move the mess to somewhere else, but we've still got no pickup. My idea is I'm going to go now. I've seen a pickup and it's up in Wimslow, so I'm going to go up and have a look at this pickup, check up what's happening on the Wimslow job, kill two birds with one stone, and hopefully come back with the pickups, because we've got rubbish here, we've got rubbish over at Ford Green Road where we've been earlier today, and then we need to pick up some bits and bobs materials wise as well that we can't get without the pickup. So we've been waiting for deliveries, which is obviously holding us up. So need to get up there now, go and have a look at that, and then we can get sorted here. But everything in there is loads neater now.
Fucking miles and miles out. They're leaning towards the back, isn't it? Because they're sinking.
So tell everyone what a bit of a nightmare you've had with this property.
Because the subsidence on the back, it's all sank by about 2 bricks. So as you can imagine, all the walls are leaning back a mile. So a lot of it, we've managed to get around it by studying a lot of the back walls out, which are the worst ones towards the back of the property. But apart from that, we've just had to send them a bit out of plumb.
So we've had to rebuild quite a lot of it, and then we've had to underpin as well. This property come to us so cheap. It was like we couldn't turn it down. It come for 38 grand, which is crazy in today's age.
Flat, it needed to be 115 mil away from the top of the brickwork at the top of the wall.
Yeah, we've got some severe lean. Obviously, my idea was when I bought it was to basically take the back end of the house down and rebuild it. But the engineer just thought that wasn't a good idea. We've obviously been joining to next door, so didn't want next door collapsing. So what we did was we underpinned pretty much the whole of the back of the house. But that meant that some of the walls were still leaning, but they're still stable. So we rebuilt the gable end. Well, Ben rebuilt the gable end.
Done a lot of stitching up as well with the crack shape. It has done a big crack. We ended up getting some bar with anchor resin in.
Been a bit of a nightmare, but it's starting to get there now. But it's been one of them jobs where it's been like a bit of an hospital job. So shit's just been getting left here. So it's nice and tidy now, ready for the plasterer to come and skim. So fingers crossed, well not fingers crossed, but we should have this done now within the next month or two.
Fingers crossed.
So just been and had a look at that van. Wasn't too bad to be fair, but the tipper wouldn't work. So, and he wanted a deposit leaving, in order to get it into the garage to have the tipper mended before I went and collected it, which I thought was a bit backwards. You know, I said to him, I'd rather see the tipper working first before I put a deposit on it, mate. So I've come away, I'm going to have a think about it. It was in good nick, to be fair. So might chance putting a small deposit on it and try and go pick it up Monday if you can get it sorted for then. But we've just nipped over to our Wimslow job just to see how the lads are getting on. Let's go have a look. Martin and Bip seem to be getting on with Wimslow pretty sound. Everything looks good. It's a bit messy, but I can tell that it's not them, you know what I mean? I had a couple of bricklayers up here doing a bit of patching and stuff like that. They were supposed to build a gable end, but I've just noticed that's not been done. And then there's all like wrappers for insulation and that. It's basically been just chucked off the scaffold and just left wherever they landed. So it's all mixed in with the, you know, the kind of the bits of brick and stuff like that we were going to crush. So it winds me up because I keep saying to them over and over again, just keep the place tidy, you know what I mean? It's not fucking difficult. So, and it's got to be easier to work, you know what I mean, when it's tidy. So, but I'm going to come up here myself, I think, tomorrow, and perhaps going to get Ben and Bryn up here as well. So we're going to hit it with 5 of us, just to get that roof finished, so we can get the scaffold done and get the lower roof done once it's down. Need a good tidy up, need to get the stuff on the front that needs getting rid of with the grab wagon, and then the windows should be here next week. But it's dropped behind because of the weather. When you look out now, it's absolutely flipping tipping it down out there. So constant battle that we're always having in this industry is battling the rain, you know, the weather, the bad weather. Right, let's get back over to Stoke now, get back over to HQ, and why have I just called it HQ? That's my mate Chris rubbing off on me from every trade, isn't it?
Back to HQ. I'm in HQ with the boys. Let's get back to HQ.
Get back to the office. I've got a quote to do. I need to decide on this tipper that I've just been looking at. Like I said, the only thing that's putting me off is the tipper doesn't actually work, which he's just said he will sort out before we have it, but he wants the deposit. He says he kind of uses the deposits as a bit of a scheme to kind of, once they sold them, we've got a deposit, he then gets them into the workshop, does a full service on them, checks them all over, puts an MOT on it, and then they can go out to the customer. So he doesn't want to do that while they just sit in there. He could sit there for 6 months.
What advice would you give us, to come to you as either principal contractor or the client to make sure, or the client's QS, shall we say, is probably the best example, to make sure we're getting paid?
Right, well, the easiest way to do it, again, is...
Morning, guys. So it's Friday this morning. I have spent about 2 or 3 hours now, basically just going through admin tasks, clearing emails. I've just spoke to a couple of leads. One's come in like with a budget which is absolutely, another one's just come in. So yeah, one's just come in with a really low budget, which is part of the reason why we ask for a budget on, you know, our web form. And it's not to, you know, a lot of people think that it's just so a builder can get as close to it as possible, and that's not what it's about. It's about wasting yours and my time. So obviously this, for instance, the guy has come in with a £40,000 budget. I've took one look at his drawings, seen that he's got crank beams, triangle windows, underfloor heating, all expensive stuff. Took a rough measurement and realised in my own mind that that is going to be a minimum of about 70 grand. So we're worlds apart. So I've just made the call, had a conversation with him, told him his budget isn't where it needs to be in order for us to price on that project. Discussed a few things about, you know, other builders coming in at that kind of budget, and just be wary of it because materials alone are going to cost close to that. So yeah, it's just to try and anticipate people's understanding and kind of manage their expectations, and just to tell them that it's absolutely no point us quoting if that's what their budget is. So, and it's not about being greedy, it's about being realistic. So yeah, just had that conversation with one person. I've got to ring another one now. The computer's buzzing and beeping like crazy because stuff's just coming in all the time. We do a lot of social media posting over the last couple of days, so that's when we tend to get our leads coming in. But yeah, they've done a little bit of project management on a job. We had a problem with a nib on a garage door that was just, you know, not quite big enough. It wasn't really strong enough, so we've altered that, spoke to the customer about that. Finalised one job, got the completion inspection booked in for Tuesday. Yeah, all go. So let's jump over to site and see what the lads are getting up to today. Alright guys, so just wanted to talk about something while I'm sat here in the office, and it's a question that I was asked basically, not on YouTube, on Instagram quite recently. Someone that had been following me for a while obviously asked, you know, at some point you actually considered leaving the industry, and I made it, you know, very well known on Instagram and Facebook. I just got to a point where I'd been in this industry for, I think at the time, about 28 years, something like that. And I deliver a decent product, or I like to think so. You know, I always make sure that everything's right. I always want to make sure that the quality's good. I want to be diligent. I want to turn up on time. I generally want to run a good operation. And that's just me. But what I found over the years, you know, I've been in this industry a long time. Obviously, I wasn't in business the second, you know, I finished my apprenticeship, even though I was a self-employed apprentice and ended up subcontracting. So it was, you know, you're almost in business. But I just found I got fed up of basically working for the best part of 30 years for other people, building absolutely stunning projects, you know, new rooms, new buildings, just like some of them like grand designs over the years, and never really getting out of that rat race position of just being, you know, a local builder that earns just enough to have not an amazing life, but, you know, just keep the wool from the doors and maybe have the odd little nice thing here and there. Now, don't get me wrong, I haven't had loads of holidays abroad and things like that. Yes, I've had campers, but I've had to build them myself. Yes, I've been into some quite expensive hobbies, you know, you'll see the guitar behind me. I had a guitar shop at one point, and that was always me. I was always turning my hobbies into revenue in order so that I could do them. So guitars, I was into them, so I ended up working in the guitar shop as a kid, which I ended up buying. Didn't work out. I ended up selling to the local competitor. Mountain bikes, you know, I've tried to get into videography, which has kind of got me into this, which I helped one of my mates who was a pro rider doing a lot of his videography, and it used to get me like free frames or free bits here and there, and it made it slightly cheaper. I've always had to do that, so, and that's what pissed me off so much. My old man passed away through the COVID injection, incidentally, and after that my life just kind of took a bit of a downturn. I got really deflated from it all, to think that, am I going to work best part of my life building nice things for other people, you know, people that could afford them, yet I wasn't going to be able to kind of move out of that bracket of just doing okay. Now, don't get me wrong, there's people out there that are doing a lot worse, people that are on their arse, living in their overdraft, struggling from day to day, and I really feel for those people. but you're always at your stage, and the problem is always where you are, not where other people are. So you could probably be a multi-millionaire and have problems. People won't feel very sorry for you, but people like that do have problems, and it's just a different kind of problem. So yeah, going off the topic completely, but I nearly left the industry. The whole idea of me getting into property was to kind of exit building. I wanted to stop working for customers. I wanted to buy my own properties, do them up, rent them out, and kind of live off the refinances and the rent and stuff like that. But it doesn't quite work like that. It takes years. It's not a quick fix, property isn't. But it is working, what I'm doing, but it takes a long time. And they also found that property and construction kind of meshed really well. So that made me want to grow the company. It gave me a hunger for my industry again. I really started to enjoy work because I was working on some of my own stuff that was a benefit to me. So the last bungalow that I built and we sold, I enjoyed building it immensely. It was a really good job. So, but at some point I was like, go and look at my Facebook, you'll see my posts like that. That's it. I've had enough of construction. I'm trying to get out. You know, at one point I even announced that I was not doing any more work for customers. I was only going to build my own projects. But the problem was what are the lads going to do when we're in conveyancing or when we're not building, or, you know, they're going to leave and yeah, they're probably not going to come back because they'll be sorted elsewhere. So yeah, that was me a few years back wanting to exit the industry because I had basically done nearly 30 years of making no profit. I was constantly losing money on jobs. I got fed up of piling my own money back in there that I was making from like doing camper vans and things like that. You know, kind of doing little side jobs, or I'd have to sell some of my stuff. You know, I'd build a van for myself, want to use it, find myself not making a profit on a particular job, and yeah, I had to sell things. But it's all changed. I got involved with systemizing things. I got involved with property mentors that taught me how to run a business. To this day, I am mentored now by Chris and Alex, and business has changed me. I no longer look at things like a tradesman, even though I still struggle to get rid of that mindset sometimes. I look at things as a business owner, and I realise that I've got to make a profit, or there's no point doing any of this. So yeah, that was the time I nearly left the industry because I was absolutely fed up of making no money. So anyway, you've had my thoughts and my backstory, so let's crack on.
Just filling the cavity with a bit of lean mix now. Backfilled all this, give it some strength. Hopefully once this is all cavity's all filled up, all this is backfilled and everything, we'll be able to take all these wooden braces out, and this is all ready. Have it be filled again as well. Scared, aren't you?
One thing I've decided this week is I need to try and start taking a little bit of time back for myself. It's all very well and good pushing the building company, pushing the property side, just pushing business in general. Yes, I haven't had my hair cut, by the way. Little elephant in the room. But I've decided that, like I say, I need to take a little bit of time back for myself because I've been pushing so hard now for around about 3 years. I had the 5-year plan. I'm 3 years in, and part of that plan was to, as soon as the weather broke this year, which as you can see now, it's quite nice out here, I was going to get back on that mountain bike. Now, a lot of you might not know, unless you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, but I absolutely love mountain biking. So it's called enduro riding. We've very recently, well not recently, but we got into what was called e-bikes. So we used to just ride manual bikes, ride to the top of the hill and then race to the bottom of them. Used to do a lot of racing. And then e-bikes came out and it made it kind of a lot easier. It made it so you didn't have to keep your fitness up and you didn't have to go so often. So they kind of made you a little bit lazy. But I kind of forsaked something that I love, the riding, for, you know, a bit of time on my business and on the property side, just to try and, you know, get my plan off the ground, my 5-year plan, which I have now done. So I've told myself this week that I'm going to get back on that bike, especially with the sun coming out. It might not be as warm as it could be, but it's still not raining, is it? So I hate the rain. But yeah, basically come outside now because I'm going to go riding tomorrow with a few mates to get the bike washed, cleaned, give it a quick once over, just make sure everything's right, get it charged. So let's get in there and do it. So not sure if I should be showing you. This is our stores. It's where all our tools and stuff are kept. Bits of furniture and stuff for the HMOs, like leftover materials and stuff. So if we go into the back, we've got a door here. This is my little man cave. So I've got my bikes. We've got a gravel bike there that I take out just locally sometimes, just to get a bit of exercise in. That's my old man's bike. So my old man bought that trials bike the day before he died. Literally all he did with it was ride it round his yard. And to be honest, I'm quite guilty of the fact that I haven't ridden it. So I struggled to get it going because it stood for a while. Obviously my dad died, it stood with the fuel on, so a lot of fuel's just travelled through into the head. It wants rebuilding really. I did manage to get it going, but it didn't run for very long, so it's in really good nick and it wants riding. So it's another thing that I've promised myself this year, that's going to go into a mechanic, it's going to get rebuilt and I'm going to try and ride it. But it's a lovely looking bike. And then there's my mountain bike. It's a Specialized Evo e-bike. Absolutely love the thing. It's filthy from the last ride out. Need to get it cleaned, get it charged, just give it a once over and then get it in the van ready for tomorrow, because I would imagine it'll be an early ride tomorrow. So let's get that done now. And there you go, there she is, ready for battle, all clean. Suspension's all been tuned up, tyre pressure's been checked, bearings and stuff like that have been checked. That one is a little bit ropey, to be honest, could do with being changed, but should be alright. I've just lubed it up. Just charging the batteries now for the gears and for the seat dropper, and then ready to go, all ready for battle. Up early this morning, all loaded up, bikes in, all the kits in. Let's go have a ride.
It's all built as well here.
So that's it, ride done. I couldn't get any footage because the lads just wanted a ride. Last thing I wanted to do was stop and start recording us riding. So there's quite a few of us out. So yeah, but did me the world of good. Definitely needed it. Just saying to the lads, I'm glad I dragged my arse out of bed and come and did it, because it was raining this morning. Didn't really feel like it, but now let's get back into that office and get this video put together. And that is your lot for this week, guys. So hope you didn't mind me putting a little bit about my mountain biking, what it is I like to do for fun. And then yeah, hope you don't mind me a little whinge about, you know, just people nicking stuff constantly from, you know, us people in the trade. It has a massive effect, you know. Take that truck for instance, you know, it went, we haven't been able to use it because we haven't had, you know, a payout or anything like that, so we haven't been able to replace it, and it's just held us up on pretty much every job. We've got shit piling up everywhere. We use it a lot for picking up materials, and then the dumper, you know, the little barra thing, it's a pain in the arse and it just makes me sick. So, but yeah, sorry about the whinging. If you want to watch last week's video, have a look up there. And if you want to subscribe, guys, have a look there. And I'll see you again next week. And if you could subscribe, it would mean the world.